Hello, hello. As usual, I have to check if everything is working. Seems like it, yeah? Okay, so happy Friday, everybody. I definitely don't need to listen to my voice. Okay, so happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great week and you're ready for the weekend. But today, I want to actually continue the series I started back in, I believe, November and December on tips to a gorgeous website. I have actually a total of 12 big tips that I've been sharing, and I already shared six of them, and now today I want to share 3 more. So if you're here, let me know. Let me know where you're connecting from. Let me know how everything is today with you, and let's start. So, okay. I have very few things to share on my screen today. I actually want to talk more, but I do have 2 slides I want to share. So the first tip today that I have is for your website is you need to have a simple navigation. Okay, so I did mention this on the email I sent to my people about how hard it is sometimes to, when you're trying to find something, when you're trying to look for, or like find a specific information, and when you get to that website to look, you're looking for that information, you get there, and then you try to look for it, and you're clicking on things, and you just can't find the information. What happens is you pretty much give up and you move on. You go to another website, or you look for something else. So what happens is people just normally get frustrated. You definitely don't want your audience to feel that way. So you definitely don't want to complicate your navigation. You don't want to give them way too many options. It needs to be intuitive. So one of the things that I actually like to keep is conventions in navigation, especially because of that, because people are used to, for example, your logo being where if they click on your logo, they're going to go back to your homepage. They're used to seeing the logo on the left and your navigation on the right, which is also okay if your logo is on the center. It's fine too. But try to stick with the conventions. Don't use clever titles on your navigation. It needs to be very intuitive. So the about page needs to be called somehow about page. Same thing with your services, same thing with your portfolio, same thing with contact. So just make it as simple as possible. So I have 2 examples that I want to show you. So I am going to share it with you. Let's see if I have this right. Zoom. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is the first one I want to share. 2 examples of good navigation for your website. One is, like I said, basically your logo to the left, your links to the right, and this is another example of when your logo is on the center. You can also have your logo on the center, kind of like over here, which is fine. So, but what you want to do is you want to keep your navigation as simple as possible. And my pro tip on this is important. Let me go back here because this is important. And I'm going to go back here. So my tip on this is keep everything you have on your website within 3 clicks. So the main information, of course, I'm not talking about like those deeper pages where people that when they get there, they're actually going through, a journey. But for all your main information, make it the top 3 clicks away. Don't have your audience click like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. They won't. So navigation, second one and third, that's it. So that's my pro tip on this one. Now, the second tip I have for you today is white space. And that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing white today. Actually, it's just a nice white t-shirt that I have. But do you like when you walk into a store and the store is crowded with people or just messy overall? It's not nicely organized. It doesn't really have space for you to walk or to move around, you and other people. How do you feel? I'm sure. Hello, Lisa. I see Lisa's on. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Okay, so if you walk in a store like that, How do you feel? You probably just want to leave, right? You don't want to hang out in a store. You might not even shop there at all. So what do? You leave. Same thing with anywhere else. I mean, if you definitely want your website to have empty space. And it happens a lot too. When you're putting it together, you might feel that you need to fill up some of the space. Just don't. White space is actually luxurious. No matter what style you are, what kind of brand you have, always think about white space. So what it does is the white space exists to create breathing and balance on your page. And also white space is it doesn't mean that it's white. It just means that it's kind of an empty space where there's not information at all. So that, having all of this, creating the balance in your layout, it gives the reader's eyes, like whoever's visiting your website, it gives your audience eyes to, space to rest. And it also draws their eyes to an important information that you actually want to convey. So, just make sure that you add space, and add space not just between pictures, add space between paragraphs, headlines, images. I can tell you, your visitors are going to be super happy, and they're definitely going to hang out more on your website. So for that, I have examples. So let's go again for my example. Let me move this here. So I always have there you go. Yeah, that's not the one I want. I want to show you this example. I have two examples. They're actually two different websites. They're just layouts, like templates. Am I there? I'm not there. Didn't I just do? Okay. Yeah, it worked. I'm clicking something different. Okay, so back to this. So again, these are two different examples of two different websites, and I want to show you how they use the white space. And again, like I said, we call it white space. It doesn't mean it's white, and it doesn't mean there's nothing there. So this is a good example of white space. So in this case here, you see a lot of space here. It's not white, of course, it's the brand's color, but there's a lot of space between the elements of the website. So as you can see, the headline here, where it says I am Lot, there's space between this headline and the paragraph. Same thing between the paragraph and the link. In this case, it's not a button, but in this case, you can tell it's a link. There are margins around it. So there's like some breathing space. That's what we're looking for. Same thing here. There's like all this white space. It gives between the section on the top and the section on the bottom. There's space in between that. They're not like all cramped up one on top of the other. So think about margins and paddings and things like that. Even on your buttons, it's very important. I often see buttons where you have your call to action, or usually please don't just put click here on your button. Okay, so let's say your button says download now. Make sure that you add some padding within the word and the edges of your button, so it doesn't seem like your download now type in there, like cramped in there. So give it space. Think about just breathing areas. Okay, same thing with the second one, the second example I have here. The white space that this one has in the background, it's actually a picture of I believe some kind, I think it's the sea, like the beach. It looks like it. I might be wrong, but that's what it looks like for me, because I see a horizon here. I'm not sure if you can see that on your monitor, but same thing here. So the white space doesn't mean it's white, doesn't mean it's just a flat color. It's just a very, very soft image. You hardly actually see the image, which is, it's there for this. It's not there to catch your attention. It's there just to kind of give it some white space and breathing room. So same thing here with the headline. This one, in this case, the headline has, it's on the side, and there's some spacing between things. Same thing here on this paragraph example. There's some spacing between the lines and between the paragraph and the button. Same thing. So I wanted to give you these two examples as for white space. I think you probably got it. Let me see if there's any questions here. Lisa says, that's why we love Target. Lisa, you're so right. That is so true, because Target does have a lot of space. What else? Lisa says, I definitely need more white space, especially on my homepage. There you go. So maybe you can use some of these tips, Lisa, to apply it on your homepage now. I have a friend too. Natalia is here. Hello, Natalia. How are you? I hope you're enjoying this. Okay, so let's go for my third and final tip for the day. This one is basic. I think everybody kind of already knows this already, but I definitely have to say it because some of us, we know, we're aware of it, but we just kind of forget about it and we kind of don't give it really much attention. The third one is mobile friendliness. So your website needs to be ready for mobile. Okay, I'm going to give you some numbers. And I have this number here. In the last 5 years, so between 2015 and 2020, the mobile traffic to any website has gone up about almost 300%. So believe me when I say this, when people are looking at your website, they're probably using their phones. So you definitely want to make sure that your website is friendly to the phone, meaning the sizing and the way you're stacking all your information. Very important, font size. That's also important. Take a look at that. Make sure it's readable. Make sure it's not tiny. People have to like zoom in. You don't want to do that. So, and also, again, same thing, breathing space on that mobile layout. So sometimes, most of the time, if you're using either Squarespace or Wix or even WordPress with certain themes and web builders, you will be able to see both your desktop version of your website and a mobile version of your website. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. So give that a little extra love because it definitely needs it. So that's it. Basically, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy this. Let me see if I have any more questions. No more questions. So if you do have questions, if you watch this on replay and if you have any questions for me, or if you have any comments, if you want to give me any suggestions for other Facebook Lives, because I have like a list of things and I always wonder, will this be a good one? So if you want to just give me suggestions, I'm super open to it. And I hope you have an awesome Friday. And Lisa says, I missed the first tip. Lisa, go back and watch it because the first tip is really good. So, all right. So everyone have an awesome weekend and I'll see you back here again next Friday. All righty. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.